If I said it once, I said it a million times. Don't make a man tell you more than once that he don't want you. Hi, my name is James, and this is my take on reality. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Meri from Sister Wives and her relationship with Kody and why she tends to kind of hang in there. Now, before we get started, I would ask that if you are not subscribed to the channel, that you consider subscribing. It helps the channel out, it helps me out, and you can really help a brother out. So go ahead and hit that HBO special down below, hit the subscribe button. Let's get it. Now, the big question is, why won't Meri leave? Why is she staying in there? Let's go ahead and listen to what she has to say about it.
Kody actually said to me the other day, he's like, why don't you just move up there? I told him I didn't want to. I told him I had no intention of doing that. And he was kind of surprised, he's like, oh, really? I was here at the very beginning. I helped start this family. It was me and him. We had plans. He loved me. For him to just be like, just go up there now. It didn't make sense.
Gonna love you anyway. You're my life. I can't let go. Need to let that shit go. Just so we can keep everything straight, she got married in April of 1990, and she's been with Kody ever since. Now, the crazy part about it is Meri has always kind of held herself out to be the head wife or the first wife of this family. She sees herself as the founder of this family. And as the founder, as a person who's helped create this whole Brown family experience, she sees herself as an equal partner. Meri, you aren't a partner, you're an employee. Kody doesn't see you or value you as an integral part of the unit. He doesn't see you as an integral part of the family. Hell, the family members don't even see you as an integral part of the family. That was demonstrated by the whole COVID experience where she said that she was in the house by herself all alone and nobody was calling her, nobody was talking to her, and she was completely isolated from everybody. You aren't a member of the family. And most of it, and I hate to say this and I hate to point blames or call a spade, but the truth of the matter is the reason why you were in the house and in the home alone is because of the way you conducted your relationships previously. According to Christine, Janelle, and even Robin to a smaller extent, and definitely from Kody, they all relate stories about how nasty Meri was when they all first kind of came into the fold and when they were living in that big house, how she had tried to isolate herself and kind of boss herself around, and she separated herself from the other wives. Later on down the line, it's very difficult for you to take that ownership position and say, hey, I'm a founder, so therefore I need to be respected as a founder. You didn't really care about the family when you were part of the family, but now that you're on the outs, the family is the most important thing to you. Which also goes to the whole idea of the very instance of when people talk about divorce and paperwork and marriage and how it doesn't mean anything. It means a lot. It means a lot. It meant a lot to Meri because being the first wife, she had paperwork. She had a marriage license and a marriage certificate which unified her to Kody and gave her certain rights that the other wives didn't have. Everybody sits around and pretends and use their imagination that everybody is equal and everybody is the same. But in the eyes of the law and in the eyes of the state and in the eyes of the court, you are all not the same. All marriages in the Brown family are not created equal. Meri understood that. That's part and parcel why she was so offended when Kody had asked her to get a divorce when he wanted to marry Robin. Oh, they said, oh, well, he wants to divorce me because he wants to adopt her children. Well, if that was the case and marriage didn't mean anything because it's all about what's in your heart and all that stuff, why in the world did Kody stay married to Robin? He could have married Robin, adopted her children, and then just filed for a divorce. And as long as it's a mutual divorce that they both agree to, they can say, hey, the relationship ain't working out. We want to get a divorce. And they could have separated. Then nobody is married to Kody. But they don't want to do that because they understand the importance of that piece of paper. Robin, most certainly, the divorced woman, she most certainly understands the importance of that paper. Meri understood it as well because Meri was a part of the facade and the veneer of, oh, well, This is just a certificate and it's paperwork and it doesn't mean anything, while she had the paperwork. But she understood when she got a divorce what that actually meant. The crazy part is when she got a divorce, she gave everything to Kody and let Kody have all his stuff and just sign the paperwork and let him just walk free and clear into Robin's arms. And now she's suffering through that. And when Kody asked for the divorce, that's around the same time that Meri got catfished. Now, when she got catfished, they turned it into a whole episode of, oh, Meri got tricked by this person who came into the relationship and broke her apart and she got tricked. The reality of it is that Meri started to realize that she could be happier somewhere else. Now, unfortunately, she invested her time and her energy into something that didn't make sense. The reason why she was leaving was because she thought she had an alternative to her life and her marriage. When Meri left, there was a faulty reason as to why she was trying to seek a new relationship. She wanted to escape to someone else. The truth of the matter is she should have left that marriage, she should have left that family because she wasn't happy and that family wasn't fulfilling her. That is reason enough. The reason you leave is for you, not for somebody else. So if Meri was leaving that relationship, she should have left for herself because she's not happy and Kody's not making her happy and he's not adding to her life. Not because she found somebody else who's going to replace Kody. Now, one of the big complications with these types of relationships, especially as you get into 20, 30 years, is that you stop holding on to love. You stop holding on to the passion for your paramour and the other person. And what you're actually holding on to is the memories and the hope that the person becomes the person that you remember, which is usually faulty and isn't really a real person because you strip out all the bad things and you only remember the good things. And that's I remember when you were so wonderful when we first started dating. No, they were a jerk then too. It's just that you only remember the good parts when after he did something crazy and went out and cheated on you or brought home another wife and he brought you some flowers or he said a kind word, the only thing you remember from that instance isn't the time you were crying, but when he brought you flowers home because you were crying. So you're holding on to those memories. You're holding on to the tenacity of, well, I'm just used to doing it. This is how it's always been. And so you just hold on to that family. And Meri is holding on to the Brown family because this is what she's been doing for the last 30 years. And she doesn't want to do anything else. And she remembers Kody when they first got married and when they first came together and they first decided to start the family. But now she doesn't remember what pain he brought into her life. This puts me in mind of an old saying, don't throw good money after bad. Now, what that means is just typically, if you have an investment and you put money on it and it's a bad investment and you basically blew that money or you wasted that money, don't take more money and throw it on top of that bad money, that bad investment. You keep investing and reinvestment in a bad investment, hoping that it turns around and gets better and things improve. Sometimes you have to cut your losses. Like, same. Time is a more valuable commodity than money. You could spend money, you could lose money, you could waste money, but you can always replace money. When it comes to time, if you spend time, you waste time, or you lose time, you never get that back. When it comes to Meri and Kody, at the end of the day, Meri has to look at her investment and look at the ROI. What's her return of investment? You are putting your time, 32 years of your life, you've invested in the Brown family. And what do you have to show for it? Yeah, you have memories. Yeah, you have a connection. Maybe you wouldn't trade that time for anything. Christine, I think, even said it. I wouldn't trade my experience with Kody and the time I had for anything. But now is the time to move on. Just because you did something yesterday doesn't mean that you have to keep doing it today and tomorrow. You can change what your trajectory on things. You can change your life. Now, part of the reason why I encourage people to really think about when they spend time, because you hear this argument all the time. Well, we've been together for 5 years and I don't want to start over. We've been together for so long. I'm just used to him and he's used to me and blip, blip, blip. Look, he has moved on. The saddest part about it is there was a time when Meri said, I'm waiting for you to come back. And Kody looked her in the face and said, woman, I am not coming back. I don't want this anymore. And he told her, like, I mean, you get to a point where people will tell you, like I said in the beginning of this video, don't make a man tell you more than once that he don't want you. When a man tells you more than once he don't want you, it becomes more and more disrespectful. It becomes more and more hurtful when he says it, and the way he treats you and the way he conducts himself around you. It can get ruthless. And that's exactly where Meri and Kody are. They're at that point where Kody is being extremely ruthless with the way that he treats her. When her mother passed away, she went up to the bed and breakfast to try to make sure everything was settled and make sure that that business could flourish and, you know, put things away, clean up, because her mom had worked that bread and breakfast for her. 2 weeks after her mom had passed and she buried her mom and she's up at the bread and breakfast, Kody calls her and tells her, hey, why don't you just stay up there? The thing that struck me the most, aside from it being ignorant that, you know, you just basically invited your wife to leave, the thing that made it super ignorant was as much as Kody and Meri and Janelle and Robin all talk about family when it came to Christine leaving. Christine wants to leave. Oh, the most important thing is family. We'll never have this again. When Meri's mother died, somebody who was extremely important to Meri, and it affected her deeply. You can see that it affected her deeply. The family didn't rally around Meri. They didn't say, Meri, you know what? Forget that bed and breakfast. You come on back home, girl. You need to be with us. You need to get strength from us. Or better yet, Meri, we're coming up there to the bread and breakfast to be with you to make sure that you're okay. That's what family does. See, that's the part where this family is missing critical parts of itself. They don't have concern for one another. So the very thing that Meri is so proud that she invested her time in and she spent her time building and she's the founder of is a failed organization in and of itself. Now, when I talk about time and money, the funny thing is you can know how much money you have. You can know what your assets are. You can know what the balance of your money is. But when it comes to time, you don't know what the balance of your time is. You don't know how much time you have left. So you continually investing in somebody who doesn't give a damn about you is a waste of not only your time, but that precious resource that you don't know when you're going to come to the end of the line at. She's going to mess around and she'll run out of time. I kind of get the feeling as with Meri, and there's other people that I watch on a lot of the reality shows, especially when they talk about being in these long-term relationships and suffering. And everybody, I'm sure, has a friend or a family member who is in a relationship where they're suffering and they just think that if they hang in there, that they're going to somehow be rewarded at the end, and somebody's going to come to their senses and recognize that they're mistreating the person who loves them so much and with all their heart. The truth of the matter is that that's not how life works. There's no point system. This isn't a game. Like, this isn't the Suffer Olympics. Like, if you suffer so much, you win the game, and people recognize you and put you up on a podium and give you the gold medallion or whatever. The truth of the matter, gold star on your forehead. If you suffer through life and you choose to suffer through life and you have options and you have off ramps, then it's up to you to protect yourself and take one of those off ramps. That's been my take. I'm James. This is my take on reality, and I'm out. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die.